think we're good.
And we're back with our showcase game this evening between West Virginia's Huntington Prep and High Point Christian Academy out of High Point, North Carolina. And, by the time we get done with these introductions to both of these lineups, there's not a lot of colleges that we won't say. But what we can say is we've got a plethora of college talent on the floor,
Yes,
but we
do.
also have a plethora of college coaches around us today here. We have the head coach from NC State, Coach Godfrey, and his staff here. Sitting next to him, UNCG.
Yep.
On the other side of the gym, we got some rivals, Wake Forest and so forth.
Childress, my main man, Childress.
And Danny Manning. Danny Manning, the head coach now at Wake Forest, is here. So we'll get through these lineups as the ball gets up and down the court. High Point Christian in white, Huntington Prep in the navy, and it's going to be again like our first game. The length here. Once you walk us through a little bit of Huntington Prep, who they have, and the possibilities that they may have in the future.
All right, to catch your eye, that 6'10" Thomas Bryant, 4-star recruit, has some looks from Florida, Indiana, Miami, Missouri, Ohio State. Then you got a guard, Curtis Jones, VCU, Wake Forest, West Virginia. So, got a lot of guys. Levi Cook, another 6'10" guy, 3-star, West Virginia, Marshall, Florida, Maryland's looking at him. Miles Bridges, 6'4". He's got UConn, Indiana, Michigan State, NC State, just to name a few. So, these guys are high-profile recruits who's going to be playing in the ACC, the Big East, the Big Ten, all types. So, High Point is just going to have to do what they do like they do every single game, is play hard, box out. It's all about fundamentals when you play big-time teams like this. The small things is what wins you ball games. So let's see what High Point be able to do today.
Well, one of High Point Christian's motto is, in their huddle they say "let it fly."
Yep.
But they just don't want anybody out working them.
Oh no.
And Brandon Clifford said that's definitely one of the things that they did not leave in High Point tonight.
Yep.
And also, High Point Christian, they're going to utilize that three-point line as a weapon tonight, as they kind of want to put up about 30 to 40 threes.
Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of threes. That's Phoenix Suns type numbers.
And if you can hit
Nice
a little bit,
move.
it's a great drive, hoop and harm there by number 14, Ben Robertson. And if they can hit over 34% of those three-point shots, as we have one pulled up in transition, that's going to be out of bounds. That can really even up that size that they're kind of at a disadvantage here this evening against Huntington Prep.
If High Point is going to shoot that many threes, I think they're going to have to at least make half of them tonight. This is not just a regular game. This is a game against a highly competitive Huntington Prep team. So they're probably going to have to hit 50% from that three-point arc to stay in this game.
I don't know if I can hit 50% of anything, not even layups.
I think so. You just stand somewhere and I'll dish it off to you.
Shabazz putting in two of what's probably going to be a double-digit night for the 6'3" class 2015.
There's Huntington Prep doing what they do best. Number 1, Miles Bridges with the follow-up tip.
What great length of athleticism with some control on that putback.
About to see it right here. Just keep seeing it. There's Thomas Bryant, big 6'10". And this is not what Coach Clifford wanted to see in the beginning, giving up fast breaks, and then even when they miss layups, they still getting tip dunks after they miss these layups. So these guys got to get back on defense.
Now, not to compare any basketball player, speakingly, but as far as these teams goes, Oak Hill, their length and their height, they weren't the same weight as Huntington Preps. These guys are not only tall and have size, but these guys fill out every inch of their uniform, and seems like they're kind of taking turns on who gets back on these fast breaks and who doesn't. So we may have to watch that as the quicker High Point Christian Cougars here get up and down the floor and see what they see how this ends by halftime, and see if they're able to catch their breath.
I think they're going to be fine. Their strength and conditioning, they train like they're in college already, so I don't think that's going to be a big issue. But another guy from Huntington Prep that I'm interested in seeing is the freshman, Jonathan Kabongo, 6'4" guard, number 21. Just can't wait to see him play, see what he has to offer as a freshman. Oh, man.
Definitely got above the rim part of the play. Just kind of was not able to capture the ball.
You see what type of confidence they play with. Rashawn Shabazz just threw a half-court alley-oop pass, even though it didn't drop, but that's a confidence play. Got to be very confident to make a play like that. I don't know what the delay is.
I think they're trying to figure out how bad the hoop is shaking. It's still going, and we're getting ready to see a free throw attempt here.
Well, if these guys stop eating all these Big Macs, man, they'll stop growing. Got this Viking blood in them, I think it is.
Thomas Bryant, 6'10", class of 2015. Unfortunately, he's going to have to shoot on the hoop that he rattled. Second shot coming up. Huntington Prep is leading here at the beginning of the first quarter with a score of 10-5 now on that make. Showing a 1-2-1-1 full court press. They choose not to trap on the backside of that press. High Point Christian now looking to get in their half court set.
Interesting guy for High Point, other than Ben Robertson, is Michael Provenzano, 6-foot point guard that can really shoot the ball once you leave him open. It's really tenacious on defense. Here he is with the ball right now. Nice cut.
Provenzano, was being guarded by Huntington Prep's 6'10" Thomas Bryant, as he was kind of able to cover him with his feet on the free throw line, knowing that High Point Christian is looking to launch a couple of threes. So he's trying to figure out his space as a shooter right now. How far away does he actually have to be before he's really open?
Man, he's just gonna have to be unpredictable and launch one. I think Huntington really wants them to shoot the ball. They don't want to give up any layups. So you're gonna pack that paint, make them shoot, grab some rebounds, and get out on the run and get some dunks and grab some momentum.
Yeah, High Point Christian, it may favor them even to miss some threes, because at least the ball will come off a little bit long, and again, get rid of some of that height that Huntington Prep got off the bus today.
There's Provenzano with his second trouble call of the night. Got to put that ball down before you get that back foot up.
Yeah, we've seen both teams kind of, this is game 2 of our showcase this evening that LA and myself have been doing, and both teams kind of settling in at the beginning of the game with some of these travel violations.
Off shot by Shabazz.
Looks like the game plan for Huntington Prep is going to be to stay home on their own guys. They're not going to help and open up those three-point shots for High Point Christian. If High Point Christian can beat them one-on-one and finish over these guys, then so be it. But they're not gonna help and allow them to kick for these trays.
That's what Huntington Prep. That's what they should do. That's a great game plan by Coach Bruce, not giving up any three-pointers.
High Point Christian trying to utilize some of their quickness now. They're going to mark a guy and work him up the floor here before they try to get into their offense.
Even though we are at Forsyth Country Day, we have a High Point Christian student section down here chanting on the Cougars.
You know, we talked about this in the first game, but you know, Huntington Prep is going to travel our great country and play a lot of games, and High Point is going to do that, but they don't have to go anywhere.
Yep.
They play in one of the toughest conferences, not only in the state, but also the country, with High Point Wesleyan,
Yep.
Christian Wesleyan, led by multiple college players over there. Greensboro Day with
Yep.
Freddie Johnson, who's coached in the McDonald's All-American game.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Forsyth Country Day, the team that played before us, is in that conference, and so they see their share of college-ready basketball
Yep.
players.
Tough strength of schedule in high school basketball already.
A lot of high schools would love to have one guy,
Yep.
and we've seen over 15 tonight, just in a couple of games.
There's Bridges flying through, missing the layup. Relentless on the boards. Brian finally finished it off for the Huntington Prep. That's just one area where High Point just can't do. They're going to have to box out, stop giving up all these offensive rebounds.
Yeah, boxing out is going to be essential, as long as the three-point shot. That's got to be their makeup ground for this height. They're going to have to stick some of these threes to keep these guys honest.
Nice three by Reese Bogan, 6'2" sophomore.
They're going to have to up their three-point shots if they're looking to get to that 35 mark.
Yep.
That's probably three-pointer number 6 as this quarter's coming to a close.
Another offensive rebound by Bryant. There's Shabazz with another follow-up. Offensive rebound with another follow.
You know, if you're watching this, you know, online, or, you know, if you've Chromecast it and thrown it on your TV, I don't know if the pure size is really, you know, jumping out at you at the screen. But this Huntington Prep team has some really good size, and these guys have motors as well.
Mm-hmm.
And High Point Christian, there's a little bit too quick for his own good on that move. High Point Christian is going to have to do more than just box out. They're going to really have to grind and keep these guys, you know, 10 feet away from the hoop. High Point Christian, you know, last year they had a lot of height, but this year they're a different team. Penetration and kick wasn't able to work out on the primary break there, as Huntington Preps was able to close out on the corner very quick.
It's Michael Seals got foul driving to the hoop.
For Huntington Prep, number 4, Wilson, checking in. Here's a guy we can relate to, 5'10".
5 foot nothing.
5 double digits.
There's Seals trying to get to the lane.
So at the end of the first quarter, Huntington Prep from Huntington, West Virginia, 14. High Point Christian Academy from High Point, North Carolina, 8. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Foothills Brewery, located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, downtown in the heart of Winston, and also for your gaming experience crossover. Get better stats, get better clips, improve your game and team with crossover. I'll have to say, Huntington holds a special place in my heart. I've got a lot of family up in Huntington, West Virginia. I've been to the Camden Park. I've played football on the flood wall in Huntington. Thank goodness I never ran into any of these guys out on the playground while my time was in Huntington, West Virginia. Just want to say hi to my dad, Keith Short, and his family on his side in Huntington, West Virginia. It's a great little spot.
While we're here, I'd like to give a shout out myself to my mom and sister and my pop, whoever else is watching the game, supporting the LA Logan, the netcastsports.com network. Thanks for having us out. Thanks for watching.
There's a lot of people that made this happen tonight.
Yep.
High Point Christian comes out with a nice set play, gets a bucket in the paint.
Only a 4-point lead by Huntington Prep at this point in the game. A little too much over dribbling by Kareem. That's a dime.
I'm glad you said his name for me.
I took a wild guess, and hopefully I was right.
I'm sure somebody will put on Twitter if you're not. They can fix that in about a second.
Dean or Dine? Someone tune us in. How do you pronounce this kid's name?
Except for the player himself.
Kareem. I just like Kareem.
Telling you what, High Point Christian Seals is he's not having a hard time getting a paint touch off the dribble, and he's doing it with no screens. He's doing it with no passes, and this could be their saving grace.
Yeah.
A quickster and able to knock down a couple of threes.
Another foul on the floor. Number 45, Levi Cook, got fouled down there.
Levi Cook, number 45, he's kind of committed to West Virginia, and he just plays with such great poise, and his IQ is really strong out here on the basketball court, and he's just kind of working his own game plan down there in the post.
Yep. That was a three by Kareem on one end. Comes down, get another block on one end. Now number 5, Bamba. Bamba.
La Bamba is he wants an invitation to the block party.
And he just got one. 17-10, Huntington Prep.
Huntington Prep stacking it up on the ball side. They dismiss the big Cook, flashing to the corner.
Because he just bobbled a pass he should have dunked.
If you're Levi Cook, you got to feel like you're always open. You're always open.
Especially in a game where no one can meet his physicality. 6'10" guy, about a good 250, 260. Nice move by Seals on the baseline.
There's Seals, getting past his guy once again, and this time he's able to finish.
As you can hear in the background, the High Point Christian student section as Kareem hits another three to quiet them down. If you really look at Kareem, he really looks like Jason Capel. Jeff Capel, he could be in that family tree.
Be in the Capel basketball tree.
That's not a bad look.
No, that's not a bad family to be a part of basketball-wise either. Looks like it went off his foot, and they definitely saw that one. Backcourt violation on High Point Christian. Speaking of Wake Forest, we also have Wake Forest's voice tonight covering the basketball game here live on the loudspeaker. and his voice is just cuts butter.
Number 3, Curtis Jones with the tray ball at the top of the key. Pushing the lead to double digits, 23-12 with under 6 minutes to play.
Number 14 for High Point Christian checking in to the game, Ben Robertson, 6'5", 2016.
I think he is their best player on the court. After that spin move we seen earlier, he's been kind of quiet here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think Huntington Prep probably learns in practice everybody's good. So they're going to come out here and guard everybody because their entire team is going to be pushed in practice. As most of their guys have already been in the game, tonight, and we're barely here in the second quarter.
There's Coach Clifford calling the timeout.
Well, if High Point Christian wants to reach that 35 to 40 point mark on the three-pointers this evening, they got to get going.
Yep.
Because that unofficially they've attempted 7 3-pointers, and if they could connect on some of those, they could get a little bit closer in this game. What do you think, LA, they're going to have to do to really keep this thing close so that they can attack and try to pick up a W here in the fourth quarter?
They're going to definitely have to keep Huntington Prep out of the transition. That's where most of their points are coming from, second chance points, transition points. So if High Point just slows the ball down and start hitting some of these open shots and keep attacking the defensive glass and stop allowing Huntington Prep to get on the offensive glass, we're going to have ourselves a good ball game. But if High Point doesn't do any of that, man, it's going to be another 20, 30-point blowout.
Well, both of these teams and both of these coaches, really want to see what's the ceiling going to be for them this year. We've had so many teams coming in here today, and all of them want to leave with a title. Yep. And luckily, we've got a lot of states representing us this weekend, so it's a possibility.
Definitely. Thanks to Rick Lewis, PhenomHoopsReport.com. There's your man Levi.
Speaking of Rick Lewis, his son Tyler has a pretty good IQ on him, as he is now the point guard for the Butler Bulldogs.
The first time I seen Tyler, he was playing down at the right here, Forsyth, and the first thing I thought was, wow, this guy can really, really pass the ball. He sees things that no one else on the court can see. That was just really, really very intriguing to watch him grow up and play and then go to NC State. Now, of course, Butler, but great kid, great basketball player.
Well, unfortunately, LA, I didn't have a great experience with Tyler because my first meeting with Tyler was when he was in 8th grade, and he played for Statesville Christian, and I was the head coach at Calvary Baptist Day School, and Tyler dropped 38 points on us.
Wow.
Met him again at Forsyth Country Day when he was a freshman, and he dropped a quiet 18 on us, and stole the game from us as well. Tyler Lewis is a great basketball player, but he's an even better person.
Yes, he is.
And we wish Tyler all the luck at Butler.
Definitely.
28-12 here for Forsyth Country Day with Huntington Prep from Huntington, West Virginia. Kind of shaking it up High Point Christian here, 28-12.
That was Curtis Jones rattling in another three-pointer. Wow, High Point continues to miss their three-point back tries. It's got to be an offensive foul.
Looked like Levi wanted to be under control, and Levi was trying to be under control, but he's filling that number 45 jersey out pretty well, and his feet are quiet and soft, but his shoulders are strong.
That's another guy who could be playing on the gridiron but chose to play basketball. What a good decision by Levi Cook.
I would only want him to play football if I was the opposing team.
Definitely. Drive and kick to Ben Robertson for 3. Nice looking shot.
Yeah, that looked like the stroke that they work on in practice. And, you know, we're in the mid-second quarter here, and they finally got it's probably their second good-looking 3 they've gotten.
Provenzano with the steal, missed the layup. And number Luke Gazelle misses the layup too.
I'm not certain that ball wasn't swiped around the hoop. Huntington Prep may have gotten away with a really high goaltending on that one.
Luka Petrovic with Mr. Bunny right there. Should have made that one. Number 24, Thomas Bryant comes up a little gimpy. Sure he got hit in the face.
The face or the kneecaps, whichever one High Point Christian can reach.
There's another step in 3 by number 21, Jonathan Kabongo. There's my guy, Jonathan
You've
Kabongo.
been waiting on him. Now, you know, when he took that 3, there wasn't a High Point Christian player, you know, even close.
Yep.
Everybody was in the paint trying to match their size for boards.
That was Luke Gazelle with a 3-pointer of his own.
Looks like we have a double foul here on the post.
I'm really not a fan of the double foul. If you're going to call a foul, one guy fouled the other guy. You can't have 2 guys fouling each other and you call it that way. Just because Thomas Bryant is a little bigger than Ben Robertson, you just got to call it one way or another. That's kind of like a bailout call.
I would agree with you, LA, on that one because I'm not officiating this game, so I'm going to agree with anything anybody says. The double fouls is a real tough one, especially in a competitive game like this. Maybe you can pre-officiate a little bit and tell them to knock it off, cut it off. I'm sure that stuff has been going on down there as well.
Yeah, but when you got a guy that's just posting up trying to get position, I mean, how is that a foul on him?
I can tell you one thing, I would not mess with Thomas Bryant down in the post. But they have certainly fired up High Point Christian here as number 15, Luke Gazelle, 6'5", class 2016, trying to bring High Point Christian a little bit closer. They got it to 10 with 2 minutes to go here before halftime.
This is a really solid game High Point's putting up right now.
You know, both teams are starting to find what they need to do to kind of get the advantage. And High Point Christian is able to get one off.
Luke Gazelle.
Luke Gazelle kind of looked like a gazelle on that play. It didn't take him many strides to get down the floor after he captured a rebound.
He scored High Point's last 8 points.
And they're gonna bait that one as a charge is called.
That was definitely a flop. Hopefully, in the years to come, maybe we can get some donation money to where we can start finding high school players from flopping, just like we do up in the pros. Maybe we don't find them money per se, but maybe they can write 100 sentences saying, "I will not flop. I will not flop."
You got guys like Thomas Bryant on the court. That fund could get extremely high.
It really can. Well, hey, you know, a little detention writing 500 sentences. It's not bad. Might bring that GPA up a little bit.
Certainly learn how to either spell correctly or write well with that many sentences.
Just like we said earlier, you're going to need to be able to write in order to be able to take these high-class college classes. So it would be very well to be able to write, because once you get into college, you're going to have to write these essays, 15, 20 pages, so it's not bad. I think we're kind of letting them off the hook a little bit.
Second free throw shot is up and good by High Point Christian again. Number 15, Luke Gazelle.
He's definitely putting his name on this quarter. If it wasn't for Luke right now, High Point would be down by 20.
got a little bit of a halting the freedom of movement there on the penetration. Huntington Prep's number 3, Curtis Jones, 6'4", 2016, at the free throw line. Trying to keep Huntington Prep a double-digit lead. You know, a double-digit lead is you know, crucial if you're playing a team that's going to take this many threes, because potentially that's 3 possessions, and that's 9 points, especially as Cassell has shown us they can score in bunches in a hurry.
Yep.
Steve Nash move from number 4, Michael Provenzano.
Provenzano with a bucket. One of my favorite players to watch, just because he's relentless with everything he do. I think we got a whistle on the court.
I think we got 3 shots coming up. Got to protect those shooters on those 3-point shots. And there is a lot of protection for Ben Robinson. It's all 6'5" of him. Number 14, class 2016.
Karim. Looking at Karim again, he's got a lot of lookalikes. I think he looks a little like Drake as well.
Drake?
I bet you gets that a lot. I wonder, can he sing or dance or act?
Or show up to a whole bunch of sporting events?
Definitely. Go Toronto Raptors or Miami Heat or whoever he wants to pull for.
I think the last time I saw him, he was at Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. Airballing 3-pointers.
He did airball a couple of shots.
Hey, he's not airballing those records, though. There's Seal.
You're going to have a hard time getting a 5 count on Seals.
Uh-oh, this is not how you want to end the half. Number 3, Curtis Jones with the dunk to end the half. Pushes the lead to 12, 38-26. Huntington Prep at the half.
We'll be right back with the second half of this game right after this commercial.
Crossover intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the 4th quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the crossover effect. Crossover intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your
back here to start the third quarter between High Point Christian Academy out of High Point, North Carolina, and Huntington Prep out of Huntington, West Virginia. Huntington Prep on top 38-26 as High Point Christian comes out with one of their players, Ben Robinson, number 14, with a slash and layup.
There you go, Ben. Open it up aggressively. Now he's got a tough task trying to go on Mr. Thomas there in the low post.
You get a couple different looks at a high-low when you got the bodies at Huntington Prep. You know, they didn't like what they saw the first time between Bryan and Cook, so they looked at it and then they revisited it.
Yep. That's just a good job by the perimeter players, just getting them the ball down there. You do that continuously, keep him happy, keep everyone happy. As long as he's happy, the whole team's happy.
Active hands by High Point Christian, able to knock that one away from the big Levi Cook, 6'10", class 2015. We're going to call for push off on number 24. From up here, it just looked like he got a rebound from out of nowhere. But call's going the other way. High Point Christian is not complaining.
Nice steal.
Looks like High Point Christian is refocused coming out of the locker room.
Definitely.
They got some Brendan Clifford instilled some urgency into the Cougars as you know, they're looking to win this game.
Yep. And they should be looking to win this game. I mean, they have the talent, they have the skill level to win this game. The coach, only thing now, we just got to execute and stop turning the ball over.
Yeah, that Euro pass backfired on Mr. Robinson that time.
Provenzano with a good defense right there. Can't get the layup to drop though, Provenzano.
How many of those do you think we can have, LA, until comes back to bite High Point Christian on those back-to-back possessions?
2.
So they're out of them.
They're out right now. I mean, they could really be down by 4 points right now if they just make a couple layups.
Yeah, and you know, and the story coming into this game was High Point Christian wanting to, as their motto is this year, let it fly.
Yep.
You know, it's really been their ability to attack the rim off the bounce and get to the basket on the larger Huntington Prep.
There's Brown with a missed free throw. Coming in for High Point's number 5, Bamba. Maybe he was already in the game.
I just think you just wanted to say his last name.
La 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 Bamba. I love that movie.
I don't know if I've ever seen that all the way through.
Oh man, gotta see it.
My gotta see movies are piling up to the point where I don't know if they're ever gonna happen.
You're gonna have to have a movie night, just one night a week. Just movie night. About 10 years when we come back to broadcast, you're gonna be saying la 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 la.
I'll know what you mean.
There we go. Number 3, Curtis Jones, hard off the glass. Seals in transition. Another jump pass. Steal. They continue to miss layups. Bamba right there again, missing the layup.
That's an impressive outlet pass
by
Levi Cook, and his pass actually overran the officials on the play that maybe missed a tag down there, able to finish the layup anyways.
Nice block by Bridges, who gives it up to number 3, Curtis Jones, who just got fouled. Going to the line for 2. Looks like they're going to try to do a little more run in this game. Both teams look like they want to score quickly.
Yeah, you know, High Point Christian's really pushing it with the dribble, and Huntington Prep's going over the top. And you know, we talked about is not really the conditioning going to get to Huntington Prep, but the speed of High Point Christian. And they're just not able to take advantage and convert with these layups at the opening of the third quarter.
They're getting a lot of great opportunity. They just can't get a layup to fall. I can understand when you miss a three, but I can't understand when you miss a layup.
Layups are tough these days. 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", 6'9" on the roster for Huntington Prep.
That's why it is very important for everyone, not just big men, but for guards and threes and fours to do the Mikan drill. Everyone should be doing the Mikan drill. Everyone. Just because you're 5'6" don't mean you're not going to be in the paint shooting a layup.
A little quick flip is worth 2 points. High Point Christian, they're trying to get their threes going now as they finally connect on one. Number 3, Seals, drills a tray ball. 34-42, Huntington Prep still on top.
There's Brian out of his comfort zone at the top of the key. Trying to put the ball in the floor. Huntington Prep being very patient right now. A foul on Provenzano for a push.
No, High Point Christian, they're it looks like their speed is kind of wearing on Huntington Prep. Of course, not that Huntington Prep doesn't have speed. They do, but they also have size with their speed. And and High Point Christian is not carrying 200 pounds down the court every single time with their speed.
And that was an anticipated call. That was a great block. Great block. Don't think it should be at the foul line for that. That just should be, High Point should be taking the ball out of bounds right now, but refs bailed him out on that play. Bailed out Mr. Penland.
We got a timeout called. 30-second timeout by Huntington Prep. Coach Bruce on his staff. Dave Meddings as well. Ty Holmes. Doing an exceptional job getting these young men not only, experience, but also, what it could look like at the next level.
Yep. Yeah.
With their practices and with their competitiveness as well. What kind of socks we rocking tonight, LA?
Oh, we got some Obeys on down here, man. It's nothing new. I love fashion, love socks, love shoes, love khakis, love jean shirts. So I stay fresh.
Maybe you can pass some of that information over to our boy James Jr. 21.
I'm going to be netcastsports.com's fashion representative. Anytime anyone needs to go shopping, just take me along. We'll get you straight. It's more simple than you think. It's more simple than you think. Just grab a jean shirt and some khakis and some loafers. You'll be fine. Some Obey socks.
There you go. LA's not only basketball, he's also a little bit of style and fashion.
We'll get that basketball fashion show up and running as soon as we can, folks. So don't worry. Just be patient and tune in.
High Point Christian really starting to take control of this third quarter as their opportunity of misses has not knocked them out. Didn't get anything on that three-point shot.
Here comes an alley-oop. Oh, there's a dunk. And one, Bridges. Miles Bridges with the dunk. Heading to the free throw line from one.
Missed opportunities haunting High Point Christian here in this third quarter. They had a chance to cut the lead to 6 or more.
Yep.
And end up giving up a dunk and then a follow-up to spread it back out to double digits. 36-46 here at Forsyth Country Day in our showcase game between Huntington Prep out of West Virginia and High Point Christian from right down the road, High Point, North Carolina.
That definitely looked like a push-off. Offensive foul by number 33. But Kareem was assessed with a defensive foul. I don't know if since where they started doing that at. But.
Number 10, Reese Bogan, checked in the game for High Point Christian as Coach Clifford takes a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout for High Point Christian Academy, as you know, maybe they're not going to talk about missed opportunities, but they're going to talk about capitalizing on the opportunities that they're getting here, as you know, time's running out here. We've just got, you know, 36:46 to play here. 3 minutes remain in the third quarter.
Gonna have to keep an eye on that foul count.
All the coaches still here, LA. You know, watching to see maybe who can help their programs out. It's been a great 2 days, but a long 2 days if you're these coaches. Trying to evaluate, you know, who possibly could help them become a better team, because they're not out there recruiting to be the same team. They all want to be better. So if they're here this weekend, that really says something about this showcase.
Definitely. There's a lot of players on this basketball court that can make a lot of teams better, especially NC State and Wake Forest, who's looking to rebound from last year, even though NC State had a decent year last year. They want to go farther in the NCAA tournament. And Wake is looking to really get back into the tournament in the Danny Manning era.
High Point Christian runs some of those pocket cuts and try to deliver it to the corner, maybe eye a three, but the length is closing them out. And Seals really being a distributor as he finds his backcourt mate on the wing there for a three, and they come up empty on that shot.
There's number 2, Shabazz, with a nice little mid-range pull-up. Extends the lead 48-36.
May look like he got clipped on that shot at the top of his release.
That's a make-up non-call from the earlier calls that they made that were obviously non-calls.
I tell you what, LA, you have lost me with the nons and the makeups and the calls and the nons. I don't know if I could keep up with all that stuff. I would not be a good referee.
I'm sorry for you guys. I was just speaking in Spanish. I usually don't do that, but you know, it comes out every now and then. Bamba.
These officials are better. These officials are better than what I even thought. If they can remember all of that.
I think they could. I think they know. They realize the calls that they make and the calls they don't make.
3 ball on the wing. Mr. Ben Robinson, 6'5", class 2016, knocks down a 3, and yeah, I mean, they're 39-50, High Point Christian.
I think that was Reese Bogan on the three-point shot right there.
It was. I missed that call. That was a non-makeup, no makeup call. Bad call.
Here's Reese again. Can't make 2 for 2. There's Seals, trying to get the offense set up. Provenzano misses another three-pointer. Number 3, Curtis Jones with the ball.
I was thinking maybe Huntington Prep would hold for one shot here with 25 seconds left to go in the third quarter as they go to their 4 corners and keep their post deep.
I think when you usually play somebody of another caliber team, that this Huntington Prep would probably go ahead and try to score, because a lot of teams just really want to get up and down the court. They don't really care about how many seconds. They just want a good look and try to score.
Well, you do shrink your window of getting a good look as it's a offensive interference on that putback. So we end the third quarter, High Point Christian trailing Huntington Prep out of West Virginia with a score of 39-50.
Hey, did you get a chance to see the Randy Moss 30 for 30?
Some of it,
Okay.
And we're back, Huntington Prep, to have the ball here at the start of the fourth quarter, on top of High Point, 39-50.
Levi Cook getting pushed down by number 5, Bamba, 6'7".
You pushed down Levi Cook, and that's something to put on your resume.
Do you think that was a flop, or he just maybe lost his balance? I don't see too many guys pushing over Levi Cook.
I don't either, and I don't really see Levi Cook wanting to go down on the ground either.
That is a nice pass to Bryant. Big man to big man.
That's a great out of bounds play.
Yep.
You know, get it into your 6'10" and have him lob it to your other 6'10".
Can't draw that up any better than Coach Bruce just did.
Yes.
This Provenzano just can't get it going tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm being treated well sitting next to LA.
Definitely, you know, we
Get a
get
little bit of food here.
free hot dogs, free fashion advice. What more can you ask for tonight?
I just want High Point Christian to hit a couple of threes. There is an offensive foul. 45, Levi Cook, making his shoulders larger than what they already are, which should be illegal, not just a foul.
When you run into a steel wall, that's what you get, you fall. So I don't know why the refs would call that one. It looks set to me, but hey, I'm not down on the floor. But I do have a professional ref broadcasting with me tonight, so maybe he could explain why that was a foul on Levi Cook.
A little bit extra cheese on that burger. He put some extra shoulder into that one.
I like that extra cheese. There's probably some extra cheddar cheese at that. Here we go, Seals driving to Bamba, adjusting there with the left. It's a nice bucket. 52-41, Huntington Prep. High Point still got a lot of fight in them with 6 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. You got Coach Clifford pacing the sidelines like he normally do.
And looks like Huntington Prep is going to be in the bonus from here on out.
Yep.
That'll help either keep a lead at this point, or it could be a deciding factor if High Point Christian is going to have a say or not, whether they can convert their free throws down the stretch here over the next 6 minutes.
And with a guy like Curtis Jones on the floor, man, it's going to be tough to continue to foul and actually foul him. Going 2 for 2 from the line right there. Looks like he has a nice stroke, very confident. No pressure.
You don't see very many 6'4" guards with his fluidity with the ball, and he's got a really good handle on the ball, but he also has a strong basketball IQ as well.
And we just got some stats in from the Oak Hill Forsyth Country Day game. We got Dwayne Bacon, Florida State commit, had 28 points, 5 rebounds. Mr. Andrew Flemings had 15 points and 1 assist for Oak Hill. Down the country Forsyth Country Day, we had 16 points for Darrell Brown, and Matty Edwards put in 16 points for Forsyth Country Day in the losing effort. 94-53, Oak Hill over Forsyth Country Day.
Huntington Prep just extended their lead with a good-looking three-pointer at the top of the key, and
Showtime.
they're off to the races again.
I was hoping for a 360, but maybe I'm asking for a little too much.
That's kind of the mistaken.
Got to be a jump ball. Yep. Jump ball position stays with, looks like the arrow had Huntington Prep, but looks like the ball's going to stay with High Point Christian.
High Point Christian with a little crisscross action on their out of bounds play, and they able to squeeze it into number 5, your boy Bamba. 6'7", 2016. He's going to go to the free throw line, and unfortunately for High Point Christian, this lead has almost reached 20, and it was just at 10 LA not even a minute ago.
Yep, it's you miss a few layups, and then Huntington Prep hits a couple of three-pointers, extend that lead a little bit. So they're trying to get it up to 20 right now. Makes the free throw there. High Point. Bamba.
So we got 42-59 with just under 5 minutes to play, and Huntington Prep is in the bonus as we're coming down the stretch here. Huntington Prep still working that really good high-low action between Bryan and Cook. With the flip side of that is you got the 6'10", well filled out Cook delivering the soft passes in the post to 6'10" Bryant.
Yeah, Levi's playing a little point forward there. That's always an asset.
Point superpower forward.
That's always an asset when your big guys can deliver passes to your perimeter players and your low post players. It just makes your team heck of a lot better.
Yeah, what in the world would Coach Bruce do without, just one 6'10" guy?
Force feed.
Yes. With a smooth stroke at the free throw line.
You mentioned you were from West Virginia. You ever get a chance to check out Randy Moss's 30 for 30 this week?
I did. I got to see probably about 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
Don't have to put that on my videos to see. What were some of your thoughts about Rand University?
I think Rand is a really intelligent individual caught up in some bad mistakes with some bad people. Well, not really bad people, but I mean that's just the nature of his town, Rand University, and he got caught up, then he didn't get caught up, and he found a way to get out of that situation. And I wish he would have had a chance to play at either Notre Dame or Florida State, but you can't really erase that. We still got to see him in the pros and become one of the best wide receivers ever. But I would have still loved to see him put on either that gold helmet or do that tomahawk chop.
I understand. I don't know if the country or even the SEC world and the ACC world knows how much the University of Marshall means to Huntington. So for Moss to be able to play at Marshall, they were kind of the Appalachian State of West Virginia for years in their division, in their league, and I'm sure that was a blessing
Mm-hmm.
for Huntington, West Virginia, for Moss to be able to play his college ball there.
I
Of
think
course, he got to play with a pretty decent quarterback over there as well.
Chad Pennington.
Chad Pennington.
I think a lot of kids need to actually watch that video because a lot of kids out here today make those same exact mistakes and get those same opportunities taken away from them. So kids really need to pay attention to the choices that they are making. You know, one bad decision can take away a scholarship no matter how good you are. I mean, there's 50 states and thousands of great athletes out there, and you just got to stay on the right avenue in order to, you know, get to that next level.
Yeah, one of my coaches always told me, to be a great leader, you just need to make the little decisions right every single day.
Yep.
You know, you don't have to make one great big decision.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, sometimes our little decisions have larger consequences. But what a great story Randy Moss had, and still has, as he's still sculpting and shaping, his legacy that he's going to leave behind there at Rand and of course, with other football players as well.
Definitely.
No matter the person, what a great talent.
Great talent. One of the best we'll ever see. I don't know. Might have a couple of more Randy Mosses in our future, but very hard to say. Just very unique talent. There's High Point still fighting, down by 22 now with under almost 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
I think Huntington Prep really is turned up the heat on defense. As they're not giving any daylight.
There's Seals with a steal, jump pass.
Oh, that could and should be goaltending.
Yep.
The player's placement of a hand on the backboard shifted the entire basketball from the hoop, and I don't really understand the ruling on that. When you have a one support backboard like we have here, and the support's just straight down the middle, so anything you touch on the left and right side is definitely going to keep the ball from either entering or exiting that cylinder. And on that one, that thing was halfway down.
So on that note, might go to the instant replay in high school. How about that?
I think we should do it. We'll have these guys on the shot clock, the instant replay.
8 seconds to get the ball across half court. How about that one?
Sounds good to me.
It's all about preparation.
About to say, we had one slide already. They let go, and they pick him up for the next one. Number 32 for Huntington Prep, Petrovic, 6'5", 2016.
Was in akin to Petrovic that used to play for the New Jersey Nets. The great Petrovic.
Seals still slipping and sliding and getting to the lane against the larger Huntington Prep.
And there was a carry by Curtis Jones right there, giving the ball right back to High Point.
This would be a good time for High Point Christian to maybe knock down some of these threes that they desperately need, and that's the only thing that Huntington Prep really can't allow at this point. They're going to a 5-out kind of dribble kick motion.
To mention Luke Gazelle, he had an outstanding second quarter, but we yet to really hear his name in the second half, even though he has been to the free throw line. But I was expecting him to have a huge second half. He was unstoppable in that second quarter, hitting shots, going to the free throw line, hitting threes, layups. You name it, he was doing it.
Huntington Prep kind of got High Point Christian in their style of play, early in the third quarter. We talked about those miscues that High Point Christian had and some of the advantages that they had with the layups and weren't able to convert. And while they weren't converting, Huntington Prep's length
Yep.
took over as they were able to put back some dunks and layups and get some and ones to stretch the lead out in a very short time.
Yeah, tonight the talent did outwork the hard workers. There's a foul on Luke. Fouled Curtis Jones right there.
Huntington Prep went into their high-low action and took some minutes off the clock, and now we're left with 2 minutes to play with Huntington Prep up 64-47 over High Point Christian Academy.
I think High Point missed a lot of open looks. I think if they'd have made some of those open shots and those layups, I mean, this could really be a good ball game right now.
Yeah, you're right, LA.
Those are shots this team's accustomed to making.
Yeah, some of the ones that they made, like I was talking to Coach Clifford before the game, and he really wanted to they bank on getting 35 threes a game.
Yep.
And they're not even going to come close to reaching to get 35 threes up. So it's kind of their length is kind of forced them into taking a whole bunch of twos and layups, which plays into the hands of Huntington Prep here this evening.
It's like I told you, man, these guys are going to have to hit 50% from that three-point arc. They weren't able to do it today.
No, they weren't, and Huntington Prep defense and length had a lot to do with that.
Yep. But even with the open looks, man, they were airballing and hitting the back of the rim, so it's just another thing about rhythm, just catching a good rhythm. I think their next game, they will definitely hit, a high percentage, 40% from the three-point land, and just take this one and chalk it up to the next game.
Yeah, the old saying, I don't know how old it can be. Three-point line hasn't been around that long, but live by the three, die by the three.
Yep. They definitely died tonight.
I think they'd rather died and got up the 43 pointers.
Yep.
But Huntington Prep wasn't going to allow that three-point line to be a weapon this evening. They've reached the 20 mark here with a minute and a half left to go.
There's Drake hitting another free throw. Oops, I mean Karim. Well, I want to call this kid Drake.
Well, you already have. LA is now petitioning others around us to see if he really looks like Drake or not, and they haven't even seen his face. Just his number. Number 3, Seals at the line, 5'11", 2016 guard. Has played with not only speed tonight, but heart and passion, as he's really touched that paint a lot of times tonight.
There's Kabongo. He's going to be a sight to look for in the coming years. He's going to be an absolute terrific talent for Huntington Prep and Coach Bruce. Ooh.
There's a 3 knocked down on the wing. Again, Seals getting in that lane, kicking it out to number 10, Reese Bogan, as he has a rare opportunity for a 4-point play.
This is another great opportunity from him. He's a sophomore playing against Huntington Prep. This game can go a long ways for a sophomore's confidence, and we've seen some good things from Reese tonight. Under 1 minute to go here at the Phenom Hoops National Jamboree.
Seals rolls the ball all the way up the court very, very quickly. And again, in the heart of that defense. And, for his size, he actually plays through a lot of the bumps out here, which is kind of supposed to be a point of emphasis at the college level. It doesn't always mean it is at the high school. And they don't knock him off his line, even though they're bumping him.
Yep. I mean, that's what you want in your point guard. Anytime you're going to get a lot of bumps, going to get past a lot of screens. And so when you get a point guard like that, that's like an extra benefit that he doesn't get bumped off that drive like that. He's only 5'11". Junior, Michael Seals. You see how he shoots his free throws kind of left of the rim?
Wrong-footed.
Yeah, unique. He's almost about to come up with a steal.
He stole it from him twice. First time he just kind of missed it.
68-57. High Point trying to still fight to the end.
Well, their motto is they don't want people out playing them, and they're earning that motto here this evening. Huntington Prep just kind of proving that if you don't take advantage of those opportunities that you have, they'll put you to sleep, and that's what they've done tonight to High Point Christian.
I don't even know how Huntington Prep still try to shoot the ball. They're up by, they were up by 11. And there's no shot clock, so there's no need to shoot the ball anymore.
There is no shot clock yet.
Yet, key word.
Yet.
I'm definitely going to petition for a shot clock. Kabongo with the steal.
Out of bounds there, and Seals, we talked about three-point shots. They didn't put up 43s, but I bet his foot has touched that paint 40 times with the ball in his hand.
Definitely.
He has created havoc on this end. But we just see the closeouts. And now we're shooting it, threes further back than where we want to. And that's kind of been the story for High Point Christian this evening. Again, want to thank Foothills Brewery in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for all their hard work and dedication for this event. Also for Crossover for helping out. Phenom Hoops Report, and for Scythe Country Day here in Louisville, North Carolina, for hosting this unbelievable two-day event, pulling in some of the best teams from around the country, while also using the teams here in North Carolina. LA, It's been a pleasure, my man. Thank you for all the fashion tips. And everybody have a great evening. Drive home safely or hit that off button very quietly.